caught in the room of separate place. Now I'm caught in the room of separate place. Now I'm caught.
I don't have plans and schemes, and I don't have hopes and dreams. I don't have anything since I don't have you. And I don't have fond desires, and I don't have happy hours. I don't have anything since I don't have you. I don't have happiness, and I guess I never will ever again. Since you walked out on me in walked old misery, and he's been here since then. And I don't have love to share, and I don't have one who cares. I don't have anything since I don't have
I just and then 2021 came at us. And then March happened. We had such high hopes. High hopes.
So many plans.
Yeah, you were becoming a blonde, and you know. Yeah, I was learning the bass. That was me. I was doing one of these twirly mustache things.
Twirly mustache?
I look at that footage now and I'm like, I think that may be my last twirly mustache. I think that might have been
You ready?
the last one.
You ready to retire the twirly mustache?
Drawing a line in the sand. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I haven't been like actually really live in a while, and I've been doing like, almost live, like Colbert, or like we recorded the
Right.
day before and then we edit it real quick
Yes.
and know what we're pushing live. I haven't planned any of this.
That's right. That's right.
And if this is what I'm saying, we have a list of things that we'd like to talk about and show to you. But Amber Quick, everybody.
Michael Furstenfeld, everybody.
Hello. We are actually live. We look and sound fantastic according to Scooter. Thank you, Scooter. Thanks for the
Thank you,
feedback.
Scooter. I was trying to hurry and set up a Twitch account so that I could chat with you, Scooter, but I have to confirm and check my email. So I'll try to get in the chat so I can say hi to everybody
During the first clip. Yeah,
during the first clip.
maybe
That's
you
right. That's
get in there during the first clip. Yeah, because let's see what's first. That was first. That was from Arden of Faversham, and what a great show to experience with you and to be in a band with you for. And we did not expect that to be the last show that we would do ever.
had no idea. Had no idea. Um, yeah, that was with The Hidden Room, directed by Beth Burns, and Seth Cleveland was our music director, and Ryan Wright was our drummer, and the four of us just had so much fun putting together the soundtrack for that show, and the show was so funny and energetic, and there was Toby Miner choreographed some of the most brilliant fights I've ever seen, um, and then we were like, wow, so sad to see it go, but we're so busy. We have so many other things coming up. And then it felt like mere days later, everything just came to a screeching halt.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to open a show over at the Austin Playhouse. I was about to open Indecent, a musical like with Yiddish influence, and we were figuring out how to say the word shtetl best. Was it shtetl or
Ooh.
shtetl? These were the problems we were having at that time. And you were about to open a show at Zach or start
I
rehearsing
was
at Zach
I
Theater.
was in rehearsal for Row at Zach and performing Somebody Loves You, Mr. Hatch at Zach. So I was
Mm.
pulling double duty. My 60, 70 hour work weeks just around March 17th, I think was the day that we, or maybe the 16th was when they called it. We got 3 days into rehearsal. Yeah, so it must have been the 17th. Um and yes, it was like Somebody Loves You, Mr. Hatch was such a beautiful, beautiful show where the whole point of it was to bring the audience in as much as you could and say, I love you, and like, you're welcome here and you're safe here. And there was so much interaction. And then we heard about this coronavirus and then started realizing how much we're handing one thing to a young child here and then having them pass it person to person all the way around the audience and then handing it back to another actor, and just like you could almost see the germ trail. We were like, wait a minute, what can we do? And so then, immediately we took action to disinfect everything in between shows, and there was hand sanitizer everywhere. And we worked on that protocol for about a day and a half, and then we were like, no, this is much bigger and far scarier than any of us even suspected.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, and Austin Playhouse is located currently out uh, in the ACC Highland Mall, and that was one of the first places to close. And
Mhm.
so we were just starting to get into our choreography, and then it was like, and we're on hold, we're on pause. We might do it later this year. We'll
Maybe
see.
maybe this
We'll
will
see what
be 3 weeks.
happens.
Maybe, I'll
Yeah.
see you in a few weeks.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. I
Oh
uh
boy.
that so it was March 13th. 2 days ago, a year ago, 2 days and a year ago,
Mhm.
that I met with Michelle Dollenberg. What's that? Ah, okay. I have been alerted that I was muted. I was muted because the cat was making noise. Already, we're live.
We're
It
live.
happened. That's what happens.
That's right. That's just proof. This is us basically showing you today's newspaper.
Ah, it was a flawless segue too. Like I don't know
Oh
if I
man.
can I don't know if I
Well,
can
okay, so we are now a year into this, and when we were trying to figure out what this should be, could be, would be, there's so much happening. There is so much that has happened and has not happened in the last year, and
Yeah.
in trying to come up with the show, we landed on the infinite Ides of March. Like, there have been so many surprises and just never ending. This has been the longest march of our
Yeah.
lives in
Yeah.
so many ways. Um, so yeah, this time a year ago, March 1 year ago, we were all in rehearsals and making big plans, taking those next big steps, and just tooting along, business as usual, and then full stop. So where were you? Where were you?
Did I wonder if they heard any of the Austin Playhouse stuff? But yeah,
Oh,
we were like doing our choreography, and then ACC Highland is where the Austin Playhouse is located, and they were one of the first places to close the community college, and it was like I was like just starting to remember what it felt like to do choreography.
right.
And we've talked about this, like we're triple threats, but that is not the third threat that we have.
No. My
But it
third
was
threat
like,
is striking a sassy pose, you know?
yeah, this is threat number 3, and this is 4. But I was starting to feel like we were making some progress, and then it was just like, yeah, everything is shut down. We don't know if it's gonna happen, maybe later this year. At that point it was seeming like maybe later this year.
Mhm.
But little did we know, we at that time were just starting Make Every Media, the business. It was a podcast for many years before it became my full-time business, and we were looking into office spaces in March. That was what we were up to, and so we met with our good friend Michelle Dollenberg, who had a space that she wasn't going to be using anymore, and it was March 13th. It was 2 years ago. Wait, sorry, a year and 2 days ago. I already got that pandemic brain going.
What a decade this year has been.
But like, I want to play a clip from, I talked to Michelle 2 days ago, just to like, where have you been this year? And I have a clip of our recording that we did, and her there's some video issues, and on the webcam that she was using, but I want to play it anyway. I want this to be kind of like a workshop. I mean, it's live, I'm going to be muted sometimes, and I'm going to go on long rants, and then you'll all wonder what I was talking about. And so if it's cool with you, I'd love to just like dive in and play this clip with Michelle of like what we were doing exactly a year ago, a year and 2 days ago.
A year and 2 days ago.
Cool. All right. Let's see if my transitions work. Bum, bum, bum.
So I had to look at the calendar to check because it was a very auspicious, is that the right word? Auspicious day. It was Friday, March 13th. So today is Thursday, March 11th. So it's almost exactly to the day a year ago that we saw each other for more than just a few minutes, right? Or on a screen.
Friday the 13th.
It was Friday the freaking
13th.
13th. I know. The day before that, actually, so a year ago today, basically, I had a class with my students in Round Rock at Texas State, and we got an email from Texas State, and I have a photo of all the students looking at their phones, and they were all excited because they told us we were going to have an extra week for spring break because they were so worried about the virus. And they thought, oh, we'll just give everyone an extra week of spring break and that'll do it. What? But they were super excited. And I was like, oh, okay. So we finished class like normal and we said goodbye like normal. And that was the last time I ever saw them in person. And it was so weird. So then when you saw me, you saw me the next day. And I remember it seems so funny now. I have this side job that I, rented an office for. And then I found an office that worked for me better. And then you were looking for office space potentially. And so I said, hey, do you want to come check out my office space? I can't get out of my lease. Maybe you'd like to rent it for some time. And so I met you there. Who was with you? Tyler?
Seth and Tyler. We all met in the courtyard of Kendra Scott over there on South Lamar, across the street from the Central Market. And that breakfast spot,
it's
Snooze.
Like 38th and Lamar.
Is it Snooze?
Snooze. Oh my God,
yeah.
Snooze.
Yeah. We all met over there, and you arrived.
I arrived.
Yeah.
to let you guys into my office. So we went up and went in the weird fancy lobby and went upstairs. And then I showed you my little tiny empty office because I'd already moved out. And I remember that the desk was just pushed over in a corner and we were all kind of like, hi. Like what I remember is we're all sitting on the floor because there was only one chair or two chairs, I think. And so we just all sat on the floor and like away from each other because at that point we didn't even know what the threat was. Like we didn't know what was okay to do and what was not okay to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like it was all about the surfaces, which now we know is not that thing, the big, like it's fine, but it's
Right.
like the air is the problem, right? And so we were doing like
Right.
the exact wrong thing that now we know luckily we were fine, but
That's
we were in this
crazy. Yeah.
tiny enclosed space, 70 square feet, 4 of us with no masks on, and we're just worried
Oh
about
my
not
God.
touching each other when really we should have been worried about sharing all the air, but we had no idea.
Oh my God.
Isn't
We
that
had no
weird?
idea.
I think you recorded this.
That's what I was gonna say, is that like you just reminded me that I have that recording. I mean, it's even labeled Kendra Scott. I know where to get it. And that would be great to play at this point. And you were like, I gotta go. You had to go to class, I
Yeah, I had to
guess?
drive to San Marcos for my very last. I have not been to San Marcos since that day.
I just noticed an edit that right at the end there. Did you see it, Scooter? Did you see my wild edit? Did you see it, Leroy?
Easter eggs.
Did
They're-
you
they're
see
hidden
it?
all throughout?
Are you on Twitch now? Did you get? Oh, you did. A quick Twitch.
Quick Twitch.
Nice. Howdy.
Anytime I can get it in, I'm a quick pick on Instagram. I was a quick chit chat on Skype back in the day.
Nice. So yeah, I love watching stuff on live streams that I've been doing for the last many months, even though it hasn't been live, like really live. Just watching an edit live still gives me a sense of that live juice, that live energy, because I see stuff like what I just saw. I saw like a wild edit of Michelle's face inlaid on my screen, and that's not what it was supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But have it like doing a screening it gives me a reason, I guess. It gives me a reason to keep making things, and doing a screening with people. It's like, I know a lot of people are watching this, and
Absolutely, and it's like having an invited dress rehearsal, right?
Yeah.
That like there's a new. It's almost like your senses heighten.
Yes.
You know that you're sharing it with other people, because it's so easy for us whenever we're just in our own little space working on our own things, that there are certain things that are easy to gloss over, like a dropped of or a dropped the in your copywriting or whatever, that it's not until usually as soon as you hit send, then your brain goes, wait, do one more scan. And then you're like, oh no, how did that make it in there?
Dope.
No.
Oh, we do the best we can.
That's right. That's all we can do. And
Yeah.
that is enough.
I'm saying from Tyler, she saw the edit. She saw it. So I mentioned I was gonna play a clip. In that last clip, I mentioned I should play a clip here of the recording that we actually did on March 13th, 2020. That recording that you just saw was from March 13th, 12th, 13th, 2021, a year later. But now I'm going to just play the audio of the clip that we were talking about, that Michelle brought up. Like, I think you recorded. And this is of me and Michelle and Seth and Tyler in that little office space that she was showing us. And we're just doing a mic check, because we were thinking about using this as a recording space potentially. And so this is just a mic check. So there's like rustling with the mic. We're checking the mic. And I apologize for that sound. I I wish that I often wish that my mic checks sounded as good as the real recording, because we get these little things. But it's unfortunate. It's the only thing that we recorded with Michelle that day. But I wanted to go ahead and play it just because this is what we were talking about that day. So this is I'm playing this from VLC, and I'm going to move to the listening scene. Are you ready? Here we go. This is the listening scene. Now we're in the listening scene, and now I'm going to play the audio. Let me know if you can't hear it, Scooter.
We gotta go stock up on some liquor. We're gonna get cigarettes. We're gonna get some beans.
Beans. Nothing but beans.
Nothing but beans.
Beans, nothing but beans.
You know what I'm talking about.
How does it go? Where's it from? It's from Into the Woods, but what's the song called?
Beans.
Is it really?
No, I think it's like Witch's Lament or something. I don't know.
The witches.
Now I gotta play it.
The witches' lentils.
Do you guys know this? You know what we're talking about? Okay. Beans, witches.
Beans, witches.
Check. What's the song called?
Does it say?
The witches rap. I don't know.
Witches rap. Yeah.
This is greens, nothing but greens. Some random person.
Just some random person.
Sped up their voice.
Did they speed it up?
Show Meryl Streep. Come on, show Meryl Streep.
So that's it. that's the whole clip. Show 'em Meryl Streep. But the pandemic brain was already setting in at that point. We didn't even have any idea what was coming, but already I had forgotten that it was greens. And I was like, it's beans, because everybody was like buying up all the beans and all the toilet paper. And yeah.
And yeast.
Yeah. But I thought you'd appreciate a little Into the Woods reference.
Always.
Beans, nothing but beans. There are probably so many people mad at me on the internet right now.
Yes.
There was one other little clip from that I wanted to play that's a little juicier.
I'm curious if my clients will start canceling for next week. I hope not. We're told that we have to let our students know by the 25th what we're doing. So, oh my gosh, I know. So it's gonna be really hard because I teach theater. So how do you do this? Like I teach how to teach using theater a little bit.
Skype.
And the last word you heard there was Seth saying Skype.
Skype?
Little did we know that Zoom would be the true quadruple threat.
That's right. The new sheriff in town.
I don't know that I had done much Zooming at all before March.
I had never heard of it.
I had 4 Zoom devices, 4 Zoom microphones, and yes, Scooter says Skype really screwed the pooch. I agree. They had Seth on board, and then they just didn't hold on.
Yeah, what happened there?
Yeah.
There's a great SNL sketch about the early days of the pandemic Skype boardroom. I wish I could remember more of the beats of it, but it's pretty great. Oh yes, their name was the verb for teleconferencing. Right. Exactly.
had it. It was like Skype me. Now it could be Skype, it could be FaceTime, it could be Zoom. It's probably Zoom. It's probably most. I mean, Zoom made it to the Grammys, right? Zoom in, zoom out. Ringo Starr said it. Oh man.
Oh yeah, I did thoroughly enjoy the Grammys last night, though.
Thank you for reminding me they were on. I've never watched the Grammys before, but I watched the second half, and yeah,
Yes,
it was interesting.
I've never been a big award show
Yeah, me
follower.
neither.
You know, it's not something that I'll clear my calendar for, but then usually what happens is it'll be a Sunday night, and if I find myself at home, I'm like, oh, right, okay, I'll watch a little bit of this. But with Trevor Noah as the host and seeing how impressively he's been able to pivot with his show,
Yeah.
and then just hearing the way that he was talking about it, I was like, okay, it sounds like they're really not trying to recreate a live event. They're not trying to make it feel like there are thousands of people in a room and we're at a concert, that they're embracing this world that we're all living in currently.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. And I have to admit, there were a few times when I found myself emotional, just really caught up in just knowing that they were still able to do what they do,
Yeah.
and that they had found a way that didn't feel like anybody was trying to hide the fact that we're all still in this situation, but that they were still able to make beautiful art. Anyway, I could go on and on.
Please do.
But I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It was the most sort of exhilarating performance thing that I had witnessed in the last year. It was like knowing that everyone was still being safe. There were strict protocols in place, but that they were still able to make these epic performances. Ugh, beautiful.
Yeah. And I mean, if you don't go on, if you don't talk about stuff, then it's nothing but segues. Like, then it's just
Speaking of
the
segues.
the whole agenda is just segue to this, segue to that. Like, we didn't have Grammys in here. That's improv, y'all. Live television on Facebook and Twitch. But